Welcome to Cord Cutting This Week, episode number 48, the show where I give you my opinion on some of the biggest stories in the world of cord cutting. Now, this is my opinion. If you want to learn more about these stories in the show notes down below, I have a link to each story where you can read about more depth. First though, before we get into the stories, good news, we once again have a giveaway, a Roku Ultra, the 2018 model, the brand new one that just came out this month with the new JLB headsets, with our improved earbuds so you can get with your Roku Ultra. Now, if you want to see the comparison between the 2017 and the 2018 Roku Ultra, I do have the YouTube video comparing both of them side by side with unboxing and test them out head to head in the giveaway link down below, so you can watch it before you enter the giveaway. There's multiple different ways to enter the giveaway. As long as you do one, you're entered. The more you do, the more chances you get to win. All right, let's get into the news. And in the news that surprises no one is Spectrum's raising their cable TV prices. Yep, once again, they're starting to contact customers in this letter I saw was from the Buffalo, New York market, that they are raising the prices on things like broadcast TV. That free over-the-air TV will now cost you from going up from $8.85 a month to $9.95 a month. Receiver costs will go up from $6.99 to $7.50. Digital adapters go up from $4.99 to $5.99. You know, those things that you can't watch your TV with if you don't have. Yep, they're raising the prices on that. And now even some packages like the Latino View is going from $7.99 to $8.99. So my question to you is, how much were you paying for cable? The reason I ask you that is because if you were still with cable now, you'd be paying more. If you're still thinking about cord cutting, you haven't done it yet, probably time to do it, because these have a way of starting like, oh, it's starting in just a handful of markets and then we slowly roll it out to everybody. So even if your market hasn't seen the price hike, you probably will in the next year or so. And it's kind of silliness. The nice thing about cord cutting is that price you see is often the price you pay. I do know there's taxes. Cable has taxes too, and that's completely out of the control of the company. That's the state, federal governments, and local governments, or whatever government is putting that tax on there. But things like broadcast TV, digital adapter fees, receiver costs are all 100% in the control of Spectrum. This was a decision by someone at Spectrum that says, we need to make more money, let's raise our fees. And these aren't even the advertised fees. And I think that's what gets a lot of people upset, is you see this really good, too good to be true deal. And then suddenly, you know, with digital adapters, in some markets, it's very easy to end up with $20 or more in just digital adapter fees, broadcast sports fees, broadcast TV fees, and more. So before you know it, that $49 deal that sounded really too good to be true is now suddenly $60, $70, $80, $100. And we haven't even gotten to the end of your promotional pricing yet. So my question to you is, how much are you saving? And how much fees were you paying when you cut the cord? Were you one of those people who took a deal that you thought would be like $39.99 or $49.99? It suddenly was over $100 when you saw all the fees and taxes and devices and everything added all up there. I mean, let's not even forget the DVR of $10, $12, depending where you are now. Keep that in mind. So let me know, what were your fees? How much are you saving? Leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Next up is Apple has a big product announcement later this month. Still kind of coming off that cold. It's still kind of getting me right now. October 30th, Apple will be announcing a new set of products. Of course, Apple hasn't been telling you what they're going to announce. Rumor is iPads and Macs will be the big part of the announcement. Doesn't mean there aren't other parts. Many people have already emailed me, Luke, will there be a new Apple TV? Will there be a new Apple TV? Will there be a new Apple TV? Probably not. I would be very surprised. The Apple TV is barely a year old. Apple traditionally likes to spread out the Apple TV a little longer, 2 years or so between releases on the Apple TV products. Now, that doesn't mean that there may not be an upgrade. There's been a lot of talk about Apple partnering to offer third-party official remotes for the Apple TV made by other companies, because I know a lot of people don't like the touchpad. Some people love it, other people don't. But the rumor is Apple's been in talks about that. They kind of talked about it previously, but not much has come from that. Maybe we'll get some new remotes, some more traditional style on it. Maybe. And hey, leave me a comment though, real quick. Do you like the touchpad in the Apple remote? Do you not like the touchpad in the Apple remote? I can understand why people like it. I can definitely understand why people don't like it. But leave me a comment, let me know. But what cord cutting announcements could we see? I think it's very realistic that we could get some new information on their Apple originals. According to reports, Apple is spending over $1 billion on movies and TV shows. that will be included with the Apple TV app. Not the Apple TV player, but the app that's on iPhones, iPads, etc., which has all this TV content from all kinds of apps in one spot. The rumor is their original content will be free in the app, trying to push people to buy iPhones, iPads, etc. No word on it being available to non-Apple owners. So we'll have to see whether it be an original show big enough to make people slap down money buy an Apple TV just so they can see it. It would have to probably, I think, be big. It would have to be probably a Walking Dead, Stranger Things quality show to get people to do that. Will Apple get that? We'll have to wait and see. It's hard to say. We still don't know a ton about what they're doing. It does seem like they're getting to the point where we could be getting close to some announcements related to their plans. It seems like their plans, according to leaks at least, are taking shape. They do intend to put it into the Apple TV app, and that will be the start of their streaming service, their Netflix competitor, we'll call it. My question to you is, what would it take, what kind of movies, what kind of TV shows would take it for you as an Android or a Windows user to jump over to Apple? Do you think that there is a movie or TV show good enough, big enough, whatever you want to call it, to make you want to leave your Android or your Windows user interface just to get this show? Leave me a comment. Let me know. Will you pay that $1,000 for a phone? Will you pay that $170 for an Apple TV? I don't know. I'm very interested to see if this will be successful. And if it is successful, will other companies like Microsoft or Roku jump into this and try to compete in that field? We'll have to wait and see. But what do you think we're going to get? Do you want a new Apple TV? Do you like the Apple TV remote? Do you hope for a new one? What do you think of their plans for their originals? Leave me a comment and let me know. Next up in the story list is Amazon has partnered with PlayStation Vue on the Fire TV. Now, about a week ago, we talked about that PlayStation Vue now worked on Apple and the Apple TV app where it was all integrated. The DVR, on-demand, live TV shows were all available through the Apple's TV app on multiple devices and would launch straight from that app into the channel or into the DVR recording or into the on-demand. Now they're basically doing the same thing with Amazon's Fire TV, where PlayStation Vue will now appear like a roll right in the home screen where you got your DVR and your channels and launch straight from that into the stream without having to launch the PlayStation Vue app first. It will also integrate with the Fire TV's guide where you see like their over-there TV antenna being built in on the TVs, and it will be on devices, their players too, where you will be able to see all the channels in the Amazon guide. I think this is a great option. Heck, one other thing that kind of slipped through the cracks there is you can also now use Amazon's wallet to pay for PlayStation Vue, but only if you're new. Existing customers still have to use the PlayStation wallet. If you sign up through the Fire TV, you can use the Amazon wallet and you have to stay using the Amazon wallet. It really seems like Sony is suddenly putting a lot of effort into PlayStation Vue, where they're saying, hey, we really want to compete in this field, so we're investing in partnering with Apple. We're bringing back Sinclair, bringing back Tribune, we're bringing a partnership with the Fire TV. So they're doing a lot of great things there. The thing they're still struggling with, I think they need to be better about, is PR. When they integrated with the Apple TV, no press releases happened. People contacted us like, hey, did you see this happen today? I looked, yep, there it is. We reported it. With the Sinclair and Tribune, no big press releases. Pulling teeth to get them to talk about this. When the Amazon one happened, again, no big press releases. Amazon put a little blog post on their Fire TV blog, which doesn't get a lot of traffic, doesn't post a lot there. Didn't send out an email, didn't include it in their press RSS feed, at least not that I saw. Did I miss that? Sony didn't contact us. Sony didn't apparently contact anyone, to be honest with you. Really, other than a few cord-cutting sites that focus on this, I haven't seen much coverage of this, to be honest with you. So, Sony needs to be better. If this was Hulu or JetTV Now or Sling TV and others, they'll be knocking all the press doors. Hey, we're Hulu, we're AT&T, we're Sling. Guess what we just did? And they will just flood the market with press releases and do everything they can to get the word out there. Sony just, I mean, they're doing cool stuff now, the stuff that they needed to do for months, but they're still not just coming out and saying, hey, here's what we're doing. That just seems like such a shame because they're making the improvements they need to make. Not the name. They still need to change the name. I think that still holds them back a lot, but they're making other changes they need to do. They're just not telling anyone about it. And that's just a shame. Sony's PR is awful. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Why in the world would you do something as great as partner with Apple, as great as partner with Amazon, and not be screaming it from the hilltops? You know, adding all this Tribune, all the Sinclair stations, and not screaming it from the hilltops. So it's a shame. They really are missing a huge opportunity there. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Leave me a comment. I'd love to know. Last story of the day. Speaking of companies trying to reach and make a positive impact, YouTube TV was out along with YouTube and YouTube Music for about an hour, hour and a half, depending where you read the outage. And now they're giving a full week of free YouTube TV to impacted customers. So if you experience the outage, you should have received an email notifying you that you will receive a credit later this month for a full week of YouTube TV. That's pretty impressive. And I don't know of too many services that do that. Not only did they credit you for the time you lost, but they gave you a full free week. So, good man, Google. Google's definitely got the idea that, hey, in this world, I can leave DirecTV Now and be on YouTube TV in a day. In an hour. I can cancel YouTube TV in about 5 minutes, be on DirecTV Now, or I can cancel DirecTV Now and be on YouTube TV before I finish watching my TV show. So the reality is you have to be more aggressive. YouTube has really been working on their YouTube TV service to be that. I think offering this free week is a huge step in the right direction. And something that kind of throws on the gauntlet that now other companies like Sling, Hulu, DirecTV Now needs to go all their way to compete with. Now, YouTube has been extremely stable. YouTube and Sling TV over the last year has been unbelievably stable. It's probably why this was such big news that even non-tech groups reported that YouTube was out, because it's so rare that it happens. And now they're saying, hey, you know what? It did happen. We're sorry. Here's what we're doing to make it better. And they're going out of their way to offer a way to address this issue for people. So good news for YouTube. Watch for other people out there trying to compete with this, because it really is. It's easy to switch. And if somebody's offering better customer service, I will always say this. People will pay a little bit more for better customer service. And this, I will have to say, is better customer service. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Leave me a comment. Let me know. I'd love to hear from you. But hey, everybody, I hope you had a great week. We're plowing forward with the normal YouTube schedule. I really appreciate everybody's understanding that about a week and a half ago when I was really sick with that cold, about a week ago now, we had to skip the Q&A. Thanks for all the kind words, all the get well wishes. Really appreciate it. Keep an eye on the site. All kinds of news over at corecardsnews.com every day. So thanks for your support. Please subscribe. Hit that thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And I'll see you next week for our Core Cutting Weekly Recap Show.